1 second.
Let us begin the function with a silent prayer. Thank you. Federal Institute of Science and Technology has a unique position in the professional education sector in South India. With the motto Focus on Excellence, FISAT has been designed and developed to become a center of excellence. Established in the year 2002, FISAT is run by FBOA-ES, Federal Bank Officers Association Educational Society, an initiative of FBOA, Federal Bank Officers Association. The institution is accredited by NAAC with A grade. 5 of our programs are accredited by the National Board of Accreditation, NBA. The institution also received the coveted ISO 9001-2015 certification. As a pioneering institute in the field of science and technology, FISAT has been making gallant strides ahead, carving a niche of its own in research and development, innovative teaching methodology, and thrust on social commitment. The Department of Science and Humanities, FISAT, is organizing a 2-day international webinar on emerging trends in the field of science and technology, Science and Humanities on 16th and 17th of October 2020. I invite Dr. C. Sheila, Vice Principal FISAT, for the welcome.
Good afternoon. Our respected chairman, Srimati P. Anida, Dr. George Isaac, our respected resource person, Dr. Nizar, Dr. Sunny Kuriakos, Dean, Head of the departments, dear colleagues, dear participants. I deem it a proud privilege and honor to welcome you all to this international webinar on emerging trends in the field of science and humanities, organized by the Department of Science and Humanities, FISAT. This unprecedented period of pandemic has been a challenge for all of us. This troubled time has forced us to reflect, to overcome every obstacle and revive operations back to normal. This webinar indeed is a result of such an effort. Now I move to the duty assigned to me. I take this opportunity to welcome our respected chairman, Srimati P. Anida, to this august gathering. She has been a guiding force to all the activities of our institution. We cordially welcome you, madam. Now I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. George Isaac, who motivates and encourages in conducting such activities without second thoughts. We cordially welcome you, sir. Now I would like to welcome and convey our deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Nizar, professor from Prince Sattam bin Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia. We cordially welcome you, Dr. Nizar. And thank you for your support, Dr. Nizar. Next, I welcome Dr. Sunny Kuriakos, Dean, who has been a great support in all our ventures. We cordially welcome you, sir. I wish to welcome Dr.Bhamini Nayar, professor from Morgan State University, USA, Dr.Rangarajan Gopalakrishnan, professor from Rajagiri Business School, Kakkanad, Dr.Aby C P, professor from Palacky University, Czech Republic, and Dr. VINU T P, professor from NSS Hindu College, Changanacherry. I would also like to extend my warm welcome and gratitude towards Dr. Sudhir, former head of the Department of Mathematics, Farooq College, and Dr. Rahul Nayar, Royal Society Fellow, School of Physics and Astronomy, University of Manchester, for their support and motivation right from the beginning stages of this webinar. Next, I welcome the convener of the webinar, Ms. Animol Pichako, coordinators, Mr. Eldos P. Jacob, and Mr. Nisamuddin Akbar, along with all the members of my department, as well as my fellow colleagues at FISAT and heads of departments, and thank them for all their support and effort. Finally, I welcome all our participants who have registered for various sessions, which is over 350 from all over India as well as abroad, without whom all these efforts would have remained mere efforts. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I invite Dr. George Isaac, Principal FISAT, for the presidential address.
Honorable Chairman of FISAT, Srimati Anita P. Vice Principal Dr. C. Sheila, Dean Dr. Sunny Kuriakos, eminent speakers from various parts of the world, respected participants of this webinar, wish you a very good afternoon. I'm very happy that despite the adverse situation the COVID has brought in, our Department of Humanities and Sciences has boldly decided to go ahead with the academic plans as scheduled. And we are here at the beginning of this webinar series spread over 2 days. I understand that more than 350 participants have registered for this program. And there are speakers from 4 countries participating in this. The topics include mathematics, physics, chemistry, and humanities. And I also appreciate that we have included professional ethics, which is a new topic introduced by the Kerala Technological University in the curriculum. This is also introduced as part of this webinar. Also, there is another very interesting session, how to write quality papers, which is also very useful for the faculty members. In addition to the other recent developments in science and technology in the areas of mathematics, physics, and chemistry. I appreciate the efforts of the department as a whole under the leadership of Dr. C. Sheila and coordinators Srimati Honeymole, Eldos, and Sri Nizar. I wish you a very fruitful 2 days of discussion and interaction. And once again, I thank all the eminent speakers for agreeing to be with us online. Wish you a wonderful and fruitful 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite our dear chairman, Srimati P. Anita, governing body FISAT, for the inaugural address. Madam, please.
Thank you. The chief guest of today, Dr. S Nizar from Prince Sattam bin Abdulaziz University of Saudi Arabia, Dr.Bhamini Nayar, Dr.Rangarajan Gopalakrishnan, Dr.Aby C P, Dr. VINU T P, the eminent speakers who are participating today. Our dear principal, Dr. George Isaac, Vice Principal, Dr. C. Sheila, who's also in charge of the department, and Dean, Dr. Sunny Kuriakos, the coordinators of today's these 2 days webinar series, Srimati Honeymole, Sri Eldos, Sri Nizar, and dear faculty members of the department as well as the college, dear students, and the participants who are participating in the webinar and this session. though the corona pandemic has hit very severely in the country with increasing numbers coming in every day, and the control mechanisms and all the government functionaries and even the responsible citizens also are at a loss to how to manage the situation. With each and every one of us is getting infected by this disease. Our dear and near, the people very close to us, at different varying levels of seriousness. Every day we are trying to live with this pandemic. But as the saying goes, the world has to go on. And the flip side of this pandemic is that especially we could get connected through the online mechanisms in a more effective manner in almost every walk of life, even in the social circles as well as in other circles, like even in the art and culture. All activities are happening online now, and in FISAT, in the academic world also, we are moving ahead with these type of interactions. And we have our engineering departments, most of our engineering departments have conducted such programs, and our science and humanities department is also not much behind. They are also at par with all other departments. That is the most important thing that I'm seeing in FISAT, that science and humanities is also moving not only along, it is moving much ahead with the other departments of engineering. So here, really happy to see that we are able to coordinate this 2-day webinar amidst all these issues, and even amidst the admission process that is happening. And our Dr. C. Sheila, our vice principal, is very much engaged in that process also. Amidst all these busy schedule, we are able to conduct this program in a very successful manner, and all with the participation from various countries. Principal was saying 4 countries are represented here, and the eminent speakers are also from far and wide, representing the globe itself. So it is a real advantage that we are getting. Though we are hit by the corona, we are getting to know and meet people, very eminent people, the best of faculties across the world for our program. And we are our students and the participants in the program is also able to exchange such ideas and thoughts. And I'm happy that along with maths, physics, chemistry, and humanities, we are including professional ethics and how to write quality papers in the program, which is also very much essential these days. And because in an academic situation, we need to work more on research and academics, so that the community benefits out of the quality researches that happen in the basic sciences as well as in the other areas of technology. And along with all the development that is happening, it is very important to maintain the ethics in this, but especially in today's world, where the value systems have all got changed, and the dimensions of ethics itself has got changed to and adapted to the corporate system, which we all know is ultimately profit oriented and profit maximized based on profit maximization theory, which definitely will be affecting the people at large. So the quality of engineers that come out and all the scientists that come out should definitely be having the ethics. They should also understand the value of ethics and values. And so now the universities also come up with such a topic, and we are also including that in our today's program. I mean, we're very happy that our Department of Humanities and Science and Humanities have come out with such a great program. So I congratulate all the coordinators and the participants also for taking this opportunity. and joining our program. And I declare this program as inaugurated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Next, I invite Dr. Sunny Kuriakose, Dean FISAT, for the felicitation. Sir, please.
Good afternoon once again. Respected Chairman of FISAT, Ms. Anita P. Respected Principal Dr. George Isaac, sir. Respected Vice Principal and Head of the Department of Science and Humanities, Dr. C. Sheila, ma'am. The coordinators of this 2 days international webinar, resource persons from across the globe, participants from across the world, and dear friends. At the very outset, let me congratulate the department, especially under the leadership of Dr. C. Sheila, for venturing into conducting this type of an international webinar, inviting very eminent resource persons in the relevant area. As we know, this particular international 2-day webinar is being organized in 3 sections mainly. First section will be on mathematics. 1 or 2 talks will be on mathematical background, then physics, chemistry, then humanities, then professional ethics, then how to write papers and things like that. So this is a conglomeration of many disciplines. So if you attend these 2 days program, all sessions, definitely you will be able to enhance your knowledge base. I have no doubt about it. Regarding the webinar, I'm very sure that all the resource persons are highly resourceful. 2 of these speakers are my close friends. Dr. Bhamini from US. She was in UC College and she is a close friend of mine. And another resource person speaking on professional ethics, Dr. Rangarajan, he was also in UC College and we stayed in a room for 1 year. He was my roommate. So I know both of them very well, that they are highly resourceful, and especially professional ethics. As you know, the present curriculum, in the present curriculum, most of the engineering colleges are going for NBA accreditation. And one of the program outcomes is professional ethics. So we are all finding extremely difficult to attain this particular outcome by our usual conventional teaching learning method. So I am very sure that Dr. Rangarajan will throw light to this particular area so that all faculty members who are working in engineering colleges can definitely get more idea how we can impart professional ethics to the students. Thereby we can attain the program outcome. Regarding the mathematical background, mathematics subjects, I hope Dr. Bhamini is speaking on boundaries in topological perspective. And you know, most of you are very much thorough with the topology and the boundaries, exterior, interior, all those things are very familiar to each one of us. But I am reminded of a particular theorem at this present moment, because as it was mentioned by our principal and our chairman, the present time is entangled with so many problems caused by the pandemic. There is a theorem in complex analysis called Liouville's theorem. Liouville's theorem, it says that a complex bounded entire function will be always constant. In other words, a complex function which is bounded, if it has no singularities, then it will be always constant. And we know that singularities are nothing but some problems. A function has some singularity means the function sometimes doesn't exist there. Sometimes it has some problem there. So if you have no problem in our life, definitely we'll be tempted to be constant. So for a mathematical student, definitely this type of pandemic or whatever constraint we are facing, that all will make us improving and progressing. That will make us not being a constant. So we are all growing and progressing and marching towards success. Therefore, our theorem, our mathematics has so many such messages. And Dr. Bhamini is speaking on topology, especially boundaries. For a mathematician, for a topologist, a square and an ellipse both are same on a plane, and you know that they are all equivalent. So she will be speaking on that, and I wish all the best to the participants and delegates from across the world. I am very sure that you will be enlightened, no doubt about it, provided you pay your rapt attention to the sessions. And this is an opportunity for us, for all delegates across the world can see this. For some of them it is good morning, not good afternoon. So I think Bhamini has good morning now there. So I wish all the best, and I congratulate the coordinators, Ms. Hanimol Pichako, Mr. Eldos, and Mr. Nizam, for their hectic effort. I would say very relentless effort. She has been, Hani has been doing a lot of working in this for the successful conduct of this webinar. I especially appreciate their efforts, and I hope that their efforts and the entire webinar will be highly remarkable, not only to the delegates, but also to the host, FISAT. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Ms. Hanimol Pichako, convener of this webinar, for the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure and privilege to propose the vote of thanks to the dignitaries, our resource persons, my dear colleagues, and our dear participants. First of all, I would like to thank our chairman, Anida ma'am, who has been taking a great interest in the all-round development of the faculty and the students. I am very happy to say that it is only because of her leadership and support that we are able to organize this webinar today. So, on behalf of all the members of the Department of Science and Humanities and the participants, I express my heartfelt gratitude to Anida ma'am for being with us today in spite of all her busy schedule. Thank you, ma'am. Our principal, Dr. George Isaac, is a noted academician and administrator. It is because of his generous support and trust in us that we are able to organize this webinar. Thank you, sir. Dr. C. Sheila, the captain of our department, is a constant source of inspiration and guidance. It is her vision and planning that has been guiding the department for the past 18 years. Without the timely interventions and support of Dr. C. Sheila, this webinar would not have been a reality at all. Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Sunny Kuriakos, our dean, is a scholar mathematician. He is always a support and an inspiration to us. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. I thank all our resource persons, especially Dr. Nisa, who have very generously consented to deliver lectures in spite of the great limitations that are imposed on them by COVID-19. Without their sacrifice, this webinar would not have been possible. Thank you, professors. I also take this opportunity to thank each one of my colleagues for their hard work, support, and guidance in the planning and conduct of this webinar. It is their unconditional support, especially that of Mr. Eldos P. Jacob and Mr. Nisamuddin Akbar, that made my work easy as the convener of this webinar. I also thank all the head of the departments and other faculty members and members of our multimedia center for the support. Not the least, but the last, I thank all our participants who make this webinar really happen. Once again, thanking each one of you on behalf of the Department of Science and Humanities FISAT, I conclude. I wish you a wonderful webinar experience. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honey Miss. The inaugural session has come to an end. Now, let us move on to the webinar series. Now, let me introduce our speaker for the session. Our first speaker for today, Dr. Kakkanad Nizar has obtained his master's in mathematics and MPhil in applied mathematics. He has also achieved his doctorate. He aspires to be a part of an educational institution engaged in quality teaching and research. His field of interest lies on a vast array of topics in mathematics, such as fractional calculus, mathematical modeling, hypergeometric series, functional analysis, and so on. He has worked as a PG teacher, assistant professor, and associate professor. He is currently a professor in Prince Sattam bin Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia. Without further delay, it is with esteemed pleasure that I invite Dr. Supi Nizar to speak on the topic, how to prepare quality research papers. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you very much, and a very good evening to all of you. So, let me start my presentation without any delay. Okay, I am sharing my screen. If it is okay, just to confirm. Okay. Is it visible or any problem there?
It is visible, sir.
Okay.
It is not visible. Presentation is not visible, sir.
Not visible? Okay, I don't know this. There is a problem. One second, let me join again. I think this part of presentation is disappear. Okay. And now you can visible. Is it? Now it's
Yes,
clear.
you are visible, sir. You are visible. Presentation
Wonderful.
is coming. Yeah,
Okay.
sir. How to
Okay.
prepare a
Thank you.
quality research? We can see it, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
A
Thank
technical
you.
issue. It's okay. Okay. Let me start.
Okay, sir.
So,
Thank you.
this topic is very interesting and very important. Those who are working in the field of any field of research, science, humanities, medical, whatever. Because, this is the very basic knowledge about to prepare a quality research paper and submission and finding the good impact, high impact journals and all. So let me start my presentation. The outlines are: know about the journal classification, writing an effective scientific research paper, journal selection, develop your skill, and conclusion. So I will explain everything one by one, and this is very interesting, and you will get many knowledge, new knowledge, and you can say you will get a lot of idea about the submission preparation, and I will give you some examples to motivate towards the research. So first I would like to start with the journal classification. So that in journal classification, very popular ranking are: first one is International Scientific Institute, that means ISI, involved in classification and ranking. Then after that we have Scopus journals, then master list journals. So I would like to explain these things. You are familiar with these things, but I would like to explain these things again. So the popular indexing is Clarivate Analytics, or we can say International Scientific Institute. And under this Clarivate Analytics, we can find SCI and SCIE journals, ESCI journals. So after that, there is another classification called Scopus ranking, or we can say SAR ranking. So what is SCI and SCIE? It is one of the ISI classification in which the journals are ranked Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 based on the impact factors. The first 25% is Q1, next 25% is Q2, and so on. Okay, this is the ranking from SCIE journals. To obtain the ranking, one may refer to Web of Science. So these are the basics about the journals. And ESCI means, those journals have which is listed in Web of Science, but no impact factors. So you can easily find these journals in Clarivate Analytics master list. Now, Scopus journal is one of the most popular database which is ranked by SAR impact factor. Scopus journals are available in all subject areas, and it is available at scopus.com. Now you can see some tips how to select the ISI journals, or we can say SCIE journals, or SSCI journal, Social Science Citation Index. What you have to do, you have to open the Web of Science, and you can choose the basic search, or we can say you can choose the journal citation reports. Then you will get, you can find the journal category and the ranking based on the impact factor. For example, if I want to find the ranking of Applied Mathematics and Computation journal, then if you choose this journal, you will get the recent ranking of this journal. You can see the impact factor is 3.472, and the ranking is 7 out of 260 journal. So this ranking is Q1. So this is the categorical ranking. Here you can see in Applied Mathematics, this journal got Q1 ranking. So this is some basic about how they are calculating the ranking of the journal. Now you can see ESCI journals. This is also available in the Web of Science, and these journals have no impact factors. Okay, but they are in the queue. Maybe the coming year they will be in the SCI list. So ESCI journals you can easily searchable in the database, and you can see there are different type of collections like Web of Science collections, Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Science Citation Index Expanded, Social Science Citation Index, Emerging Source Citation Index. So from here you can find all the ranking of the journal. Now let me explain about the Scopus Indexed Journals ranking. You know about this. You can find it very easy. www.scopus.com. Now, how to search a journal? Open the website and just you put the title of the journal. You will get the quartile ranking, or we can say you can find the SAR, impact factor of Scopus journal from this website. Now there is a private website. It is called www.simagojr.com, and this journal suggests the ranking of Scopus journal Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So these are some basic knowledge about the journal classification. Okay, now you understand about the journal classification, journal ranking. There are three types of journals. One is impact factored SCI or SCIE journals. Another one is ESCI journal, that means expanded science citation index journals. This is available in Web of Science without impact factor. And the third classification, other classification like UGC approved journal list and all, but I am talking about the top international classification. So I would like to consider only this three type of indexing. Now let me go to the very important part of the presentation, that is writing an effective scientific research paper. So why research is important? It is a tool for building knowledge and facilitating learning, means to understand various issues and increase public awareness. Research helps people nurture their potential and achieve goals through various opportunities. A seed to love reading, writing, analyzing, and sharing valuable information, nourishment and exercise of the mind. So usually the real research is starting from after your PhD. So after that you can enjoy the research. So that's why I just mentioned these points. So you just take it as a mental exercise, and to know more about the present development of the field. So you have to read the papers based on that. Just instead of publishing many things, to getting degree or promotion, you have to enjoy the research. If you will take it, a seed to love reading, writing, analyzing, and sharing valuable information. If you think like this, then the research will be very interesting. Now, how to organize a research paper in good form? Now you can see you have to concentrate to this part, because this is very important. So first we have a comprehensive title. The title must be very attractive and comprehensive. An informative block of abstract. I will explain more about abstract, how to write the abstract, and what are the points we have to include in the abstract. I will explain in very detail. Rich introduction by citing all the related research papers based on the relevance of the topic. Many, maximum papers we are just shortage the introduction by avoiding the similarity or plagiarism. So what we are doing, we skip many citation, related citation. But a good paper means you have to include as maximum as possible citations. Main results and discussion, including analysis. After that, conclusion. Then well-structured bibliography. So these are the points to keep in mind to prepare a paper. That means a comprehensive title must be there. Block of abstract, rich introduction, main result and discussion, including analysis like mathematical analysis, simulation analysis, or whatever it may be. This is based on your subject area. After that, a concluding remark. Then finally, a well-structured bibliography. Means well-structured bibliography means the style must be for each references must be same, and all the informations are there. Sometimes we are just writing that the paper is accepted or paper is submitted, something like that. So that information usually considered as incomplete information. So here you can see abstract writing. An abstract is like a movie trailer. the researchers will only consider reading the rest of the manuscript if they find your abstract is interesting. So this is very important point. Like, you know, maximum of journal, they are just showing the abstract of your paper. Because if it is non-open access journal, you cannot access the complete paper. So usually what we are doing, we are reading the abstract and we will decide that whether we have to read this paper or not. So we can say that an abstract is like a movie trailer. So abstract offers a purview, highlights key points, and helps the audience decide whether to view the entire work or not. Abstracts are the pivot of the research paper because many journal editorial boards screen manuscript only on the basis of the abstract. You can see many times the chief editor decided the paper to go for review or return. This is based on the abstract because you know that the chief editor will not read the entire paper. So he will go through the abstract of the paper. So you have to prepare the abstract with all the information. Like for example, I will explain more about how to write the abstract. Here you can see if your abstract doesn't grab their attention and not make a good first impression, there is a good chance your research paper will be rejected at the outset. Moreover, even after your research paper is published, your abstract will be the first and possibly only the thing readers will access through the electronic searches. They will only consider reading the rest of the manuscript if they find your abstract is interesting. Now I can explain how to write a good abstract. So write the abstract after you have finished the writing of your paper. So some tips I would like to share here. Okay, you can write your abstract after finishing your whole paper. Pick out key statement from your introduction, methods, result, discussion section to frame your abstract with a logical flow. Now edit your abstract carefully to make it cohesive and meet the word count requirements of the journal. Some journals have the restriction that the abstract must be 250 words or 300 words, something like that. So you have to keep these things in mind. Identify the major result from our result section. Arrange the sentences and phrases into single paragraph in the following sequence: introduction, methods, result, and conclusion. Make sure that this paragraph does not contain new information that is not present in the paper. Sometimes we are explaining many things about others' paper. In this paper, X did this and Y did this. And you know, it is better to avoid such a thing from the abstract. So you can see what points you have to consider. You have to avoid undefined abbreviations or group of names, a discussion of previous literature or reference citation, unnecessary details about the methods used. Okay, so if you are explaining many things about your methods, it must be in the introduction part or in the discussion part. Link your sentences to ensure that the information flows well, preferably in the following order: purpose, basic study design, methodology, technique used, major finding, summary of your interpretation, conclusion, and implications. So we are talking about a block of abstract, but you can see you have to include many things inside that abstract. So confirm that there is a consistency between the information presented in the abstract and the whole paper. If you are talking something in abstract and your paper is connecting with the other thing, so this will not be acceptable. Ask a colleague to review your abstract and back if the purpose, aim, methods, and conclusion of study are clearly stated. So if you can discuss with your friend, he can suggest more. Definitely, he must be from the scientific background. Check to see if the final abstract meet the guidelines of the targeted journal, like word limit, type of abstract, recommended subheadings, etc. Now visit your abstract with these steps in mind, and I am sure you will be able to revise it and make it more attractive. Another thing you can do is go back to some of the most interesting papers you have read during your literature review. So after writing your abstract, you can compare your result with some other abstract. Now you can see a sample of good abstract. Okay, so when I was reading this paper, actually I published one paper in this topic, maximum power point tracking with fractional calculus. So I found that this abstract is very useful. You know, these authors mentioned everything clearly. You can see they mentioned that there must be an objective. Then they explained the methods. After that, results, conclusion, and practical implication. So this is a good example of an abstract, good abstract. But you know, some journals they have objection about writing this subtitle. So what we have to do, my suggestion is, the abstract should contain objectives, methods, results, conclusion, and practical implication as suggested above. But it will be better to write abstract in a single block and avoid small titles as shown in the sample abstract. So we can include all these things. We can include all these things without mentioning the subtitles. Like we can remove this subtitle of objectives, method, result, conclusion, and practical implication, and we can write this as a single block of abstract. Now let me give some tips about the main body of the paper. First one is introduction must contain recent depths of the subject and cite all relevant papers. Mention the structure of the paper at the end of the introduction section. Like in section 2, we will discuss something like that. And in section 3, the authors mentioned the analysis, and the final section give a drawn with the concluding remark, something like that. Means a structure of the paper must mentioned at the end of the introduction section. Now the main result explain all the result as much in detail and easy flow. Like you know, earlier in our PhD time, I remember that my professor was saying you have to write the paper in a tough form, that you have to skip many steps so that you know the reviewer or the readers must try with your result. But from my experience, I understood that you must have to write in more readable form. That means use very simple language and include as maximum possible steps, because you know nowadays the master's students and the graduate students and those who are new research scholars, you know, they will cite your paper if they can follow your paper. Otherwise, you know, after 3-4 reading, they feel that this paper is very tough. So the analysis, now this part is the most attractive part of the research paper. Give as much figures and tables for the visual impact. Those who are working in the science field, engineering field, or we can say even the other field like economics and commerce, they can make the visual impact by including many tables and figures. You can use the beautiful figures to give the visual impact. And the conclusion must be the summary of the above finding. Okay, many times I found that while reviewing the paper, the abstract and the conclusion is almost the same. So take care of this. It must be different. Okay, abstract is based on our earlier point, but the conclusion is, you know, something you have to mention about your findings and some future direction or something, or what how you are extending your work in the next paper, or what you can do new based on your result. Okay, and the reference section, all information must be correct and accurate. That I already discussed. Now we understand about the journal classification. We know how to write the paper. Now the third step is the journal selection and submission. Okay, so we have 4 steps. First step is journal classification, know about the journal. After that, we wrote the paper with some tips. Now we want to submit. We have to submit this paper. So we need the journal, and we have to know the submission process. So first, what you have to do, you have to read the aims and scope of the journal. Okay. Second one, structure your paper based on the aim and scope of the journal. So some journal, they are asking that, okay, your paper must be based on the recent development in some topic, and they mention that topic. For example, the modeling of infectious diseases or mathematical biology. So if you are targeting a mathematical biology paper to a physics related paper, so definitely this paper will get rejected, because it is not matched with the aims and scope of the journal. So first you have to decide your journal, then read the aim and scope, then prepare the paper according to the journal scope. Okay. The second one, the subject classification, that is, check the subject classification from the journal website. Choose the most suitable classification from journal website at the time of submission, or keep it in mind at the time of preparation of your paper. Many journal submission, they will ask choose the right classification. So, for example, if I prepared a paper in nanofluid or nanomaterial, something like that, and I must get some keywords or some classification words at the time of submission. There is one block, you have to choose the right classification. So at the time of submission, you will feel that, okay, this classification not match with the journal classification, then you will have the problem. Or we can say that you have to take care of keywords. Always we are putting the keywords on the paper. So you have to plan your paper based on the journal classification. Means the keywords is almost the same as the journal classification. Like in mathematics there is MSc mathematics subject classification 2010, 2020, 2000. So from that, many journals are asking to put first two keywords from the MSc. So like that, this is varies from journal to journal. So it is better to read the instruction of authors before submitting your paper. Now another important thing is that editor or editorial board member, check the availability of the editorial member from the subject area. So many journals are asking to choose the editor or chief editor, assign the paper based on the keywords. So we must check the editorial members related to your work. If no subject expert available in the editorial board, then it is not advisable to submit in that journal, because the chief editor assign the work to the related editorial board member. But if the topic editor is not available, then it will be very difficult. Maybe your paper will return back, or the chief editor will try to invite different names, and it will delay the paper status. Like many people were complaining after 3 months, 4 months, my paper is showing the status is with the editor. Why this problem? Because I have the experience, good experience in editing many papers. Even I am the member of many editorial board, many special issue editor. Now also I have 3 special issues are running, open special issues. So I know the problem is that if some researcher submitted the paper which is not very close to the field, then it is very difficult to invite the expert. Because if you are searching the expert, sometimes they are not responding, and you have to wait. There are many issues. So it is better to check the availability of editorial member from the subject area. Now another opportunities is suggested reviewers name. Many of the journals are giving the opportunity to suggest the reviewer. If you suggest the subject expert as a reviewers, then their comments will help to improve the paper in good form. Many paper get rejected at the very beginning, like within a month, with the 4 reviewers comments, 5 reviewers comments, like that. If you will try the papers with the IEEE journals, you can find that. But that comments are very useful to improve your paper. You can just pin that comments, and it will improve your paper based on that comment, and you can catch the same journal. You can submit after the revision, you can submit to the same journal, and there will be a good chance to get acceptance. Usually what we are doing, we are suggesting our friend names as a reviewer, but many journals will not consider this, because they will look whether this person is from the field and there is any conflict of interest, like suggesting a reviewer from the same country, the same institution, and collaborators, co-authors. So all these things you have to keep in mind. I am talking about a good paper, just remember that. Okay, good quality paper. So if you wish to publish a good quality paper in high impact journal. So you have to take care of all these points. Now the first three parts done. That means you got the idea about the journal classification and got the idea about how to prepare the paper. Now you are familiar with how to submit the paper. Now about the research, how to develop your skills. Okay, just I want to show some example from my experience, and this is the last part. I will not take more time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, then I will finish. Okay. So how to develop your skills? I know that maximum of people are from maximum of participants or faculties are from the science background and engineering background. Those who are not working and not related to the science background also, they can understand this, because I am going to explain the very basic concept of mathematics. I think those who have knowledge about matrices and all, they can understand this. Okay. So this part is just to motivate everyone. This is from my experience. Now you can see. Let me start with the metrics. Everyone know what is identity matrix, because we studied this in our 11th class. Okay. So identity matrix, you know that the diagonal elements are unity and all other elements are 0. Okay. So, but you know, in mathematician, they are calling it as a matrix, but this have a connection with optical communication. So the engineers are consider this as binary coding. Okay, that is called 0 and 1. So you can see here, a mathematician, they are saying that first row, second row, third row, but the engineers, they will say like this: user 1, user 2, and user 3. So, you know, you have to connect your simple concept with the applied concept. Means you have to discuss with your friends, those who are working in engineering field. So let me explain very old concept that is called Pascal's triangle. This was discovered in 1653. Is it very old? Okay. So you know the Pascal's triangle. Both the extreme end is 1, 1, 1, and we will sum up each numbers like 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 1, 3. This is Pascal triangle. I think everyone know. In our school time or our college time, we discuss many things about Pascal's triangle. So I was watching this Pascal's triangle and its beautiful symmetry. You can see very, very beautiful structure. Then, you know what I did? You can see very old concept, and developed a triangle matrix that is called Pascal's triangle matrix. This was done in 2018. What I did, by considering the binary numbers, the Pascal's triangle matrix starts from the second row of the Pascal's triangle, constructed as follows. I am not saying anything, just I removed the first row and I replaced all the numbers by 0 other than unity. Okay, I keep the ones as it is, and other things I just make as 0. So means I want a binary type matrix, because you know in communication only 1 and 0 binary digits. So I just converted that matrix in this form. Then I develop, see, you can see this is another order of the Pascal's triangle matrix. So there is nothing, just you know, remove other numbers by 0, replace other numbers by 0, and that diagonal Paschen numbers I just keep the same one. Now then I discovered a general form of Pascal's triangle type matrix. So this is the n times Pascal's triangle type matrix. So nothing is there. Now you can see what we achieved from that concept. We wrote a paper that's called Development and Performance Analysis of Zero Cross Correlation Code using a type of Pascal's triangle matrix for spectral amplitude coding, optical code division, multiple access network. So this paper was published in 2018, and you know a simple concept of Pascal's triangle. We achieved a nice result and connected this application to OCDMA technique. Now I can give you more example. Actually, you know, I did the mathematical part. definitely you have to contact the engineers to do the analysis part, because they know the length of the fiber, and there are many things, signal SNR, signal to noise ratio, burr, bit error rate, many technical things are there. So I contacted with these people, Ali and Shahina. They are from Telecommunication Digital Signal Processing Lab, Algeria. So you see, you contacted the right person to develop the right thing. So you have the skill of mathematics. You just want to develop that skill, and you have to share with the expert. So this Professor Ali is the expert, and he is the head of the Digital Signal Processing Laboratory. And I just sent my concept to him, and he was very impressed, and he joined the paper, and we wrote this paper, and it is published very quickly. Now you can see another one. This paper I wrote myself in 2017, and I just call it as Generalized Matrix Partition Code. That means GMPC. So for this paper, for this discovery, I got the patent from King Abdullah Science and Technology, Saudi Arabia. I registered a patent for this code. So here what I did, here actually, those who know about optical communication, there is a cross correlation between two users. So I just did this concept, and I just discovered that how to extend the number of users without any congestion between two users. So I just make some diagonal partition extension, like group 1, group 2, group 3. So diagonally, I just expanded this matrix pattern. So as a result, I got a paper, and this also published in Optic, that is called Numerical Construction of Generalized Matrix Partition Code for Spectral Amplitude Coding Optical CDMA System. So the concept is from very simple matrix, and that matrix is developed by myself. Okay. By considering some properties of optical code. Okay, there are some conditions about code length, code weight, and all these things. Okay, I'm not going too deep with that technical terms. Just I want to motivate that, okay, all this thing is coming from a simple matrix. Now another thing you can see, this is very interesting, quite interesting. About we discuss about the diagonal matrix. Now this is anti-diagonal matrix. Okay, see the diagonal is anti-diagonal matrix. So here you can see the numbers 7, 5, -1, 2, and all. So to get the binary numbers, I just replace these numbers by 1. Okay, -1, 7, 5, 2. I just replace all this number by 1. So you got an anti-diagonal matrices like this, 1, 1, 1, something like that. So then I just tried, and I just created a switching pattern, consider some anti-diagonal matrix, and to balance the code weight, I just added column matrix in the both sides. So I'm not going very technical terms. Just I want to show. So this paper is published in 2014, and construction of zero cross correlation code using a type of anti-diagonal identity column block matrices. Now you can see I am from the mathematics background, and my PhD topic was a study of polynomials and umbral calculus. My MPhil topic was umbral calculus, and I have some topic on fractional calculus also in my PhD thesis. So while reading the papers, I just want to connect the small things with the engineering application. So I start reading about the matrices. So that's why these papers are different, but these papers are very interesting. And we got another paper with that new ZCC, new zero cross correlation code. And I published this with my friends from Punjab University. And this is published in very high impact journal, that is called Photonic Network Communication. You can see all these papers are appeared in a very suitable journal, related to communications. So now one more thing, just I want to explain, because those who are in MSc, they know about this Jordan block matrices. So Jordan block matrices means in diagonal there are some blocks of eigenvalues, lambda 1, lambda 1, lambda 1, and so on. So when I was teaching my student the linear algebra course, then this idea just clicked in my mind. Means if I remove or if I replace this lambda by 1 unity, then this matrix converted into binary partition. So what I did, I just replaced this lambda by 1, and I just give some names there. All these are just names. So you can see here, I just take the main diagonal, that is green color. Okay. Then I take another one, succeeding diagonal. Just I give some name, SST1. Means I just want to take this diagonal pattern. You can see this color part. You can see it is something like a Jordan block matrix. So we just consider these blocks and we just develop this switching pattern. So what's the result? We published a very nice paper in the topmost journal that is called Optical Fiber Technology. And we called our discovery as an DEU, Diagonal Eigenvalue Unity. Means simple, I just converted the eigenvalue by unity, so I called it as eigenvalue unity. And in the diagonal, so just give a name like a DEU code. And the paper was published in 2013. And after that, we try another one that is called reduction of fiber dispersion effect on multiple access interference for long span high speed OCDMA network using DEU. So this is the second paper with the same concept. Okay. So just to motivate you, these are the simple things, simple concept, but you have to connect. You have to connect your skill with the different areas. Now, finally, note that your paper is a bride. Okay. So make up accordingly. So suppose that you just think that you have only one chance and this is the final chance. So you have to do your best effort. Like bride, you have to do the makeup as much possible as. Everything must be perfect at the time of first submission. Many good papers get rejected due to the bad structure and poor English language. So the paper must be well structured and error-free. Suggestions: the authors are suggested to read the aim and scope of the journal before submission. Structure your paper based on the journal demand. The paper must arrange in simple way so that the readers can follow the result easily. If you wish to increase the citation, then you can go with the open access journal, which is openly accessible all over the world. Now you can see this topic is very important because some journals are publishing such type of papers. Like I saw one review article, how to publish a scientific manuscript in a high impact journal, and it is published in Advances in Digestive Medicine. So that means this topic is very hot. This topic, people, if it is not hot, this type of journal will not publish such a type of review article, because Advances in Digestive Medicine is publishing a paper on the topic how to publish a scientific manuscript in high impact journal. So this topic is very important, and you will get experience. And I think if you can keep in mind all these points, then you can write a good paper and you can find a better journal with a high impact journal. So this is the last slide of my presentation. And if you have any question, please you can ask. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, sir. So since there haven't been any questions posted in the comment box, anyone can ask their questions directly now. If anyone is having any query or doubts, they can ask directly to Nizar sir now. Sir, since your presentation was very comprehensive, there aren't any queries or doubts.
Okay, thank you very much. I expect many queries because there are many things to discuss. I was waiting for an interactive session, but I think participants have no problem. It's okay. I'm very happy for that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to vote of thanks. I invite Mr. Andrew PJ, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, to
One
propose.
question is there, how to get, sorry, one question is there.
Okay.
How to get the subject classification? Someone just to type the question. So let me answer this. Rajam Krishnan is asking how to get a subject classification. You know, there is a website, MSc 2010 database. Just go there and you can find the MSc 2010 classification. All the classifications are there. That is AMS, MSc 2010 database. Just you can type in Google, you can find it. And you can find all the classification there, all the science, mathematics related classification there. For physics also, there is something called EAC or PAC. You can search it, and this is available very easily. Classifications are available in AMS, American Mathematical Society. Yes, sir.
Okay, now I invite Mr. Andrew PJ, Assistant Professor, Department of Science and Humanities, to propose vote of thanks.
Okay. Good afternoon. Respected Dr. K. Nizar sir, my dear participants and organizers of this seminar. I feel glad to express my sincere gratitude to Nizar sir for the valuable thoughts he had shared with us. In his talk, he clearly explained what are the various ways for quality research. He introduced so many websites helpful for research. He clearly remarked why research is important. He vividly mentioned the main contents in abstract and main body of the paper. This talk helped us understand more about good research and enhanced our knowledge about the subject. Once again, thanking you, Nizar sir, and my dear participants and organizers of this seminar. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Andrew sir. So with that, we come to the end of the first session. The second session, Boundaries of Topology by Dr.Bhamini Nayar, Morgan State University, USA, will begin at 5:30. Participants who have registered for that are requested to join by 5:25 p.m. If anyone is attending in this meeting without registering, they are requested to head to the the link which is given in the comment box and register in order to get the feedback form as well as certificate. Thank you.